Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Spiffing Brit, and today something magical has happened. A game developer has for some reason seen fit to hire me to break their game. That's right, today we're playing Millennia. This is the brand new strategy release from Paradox Interactive. And guess what? It's a turn-based 4X game. Now, if you're an absolute strategic gamer like myself, you know what that means. I've been told to cause as much chaos as possible and push the balance to its extremes. After sinking in almost 80 hours, I think it's safe to say I'm finally ready to make Paradox regret this marketing decision. Millennia is like a glorious mashup of Old World, Civilization 4 and Hexarchy. There are many ways to win, like conquest, religion and science. We will be taking things to the extreme and breaking all of these aspects in order to create the most overpowered civilization the world has ever seen. The Cult of Tea. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is 10,000 BCE, and we are in the Stone Age. Now, in the Stone Age, we can't exactly do too much. Our technology is incredibly limited, and our armed forces are largely just men with sticks. When it comes to our starting position, I had to roll several times to get a start that I actually felt was worthy. The starts in this game can range from absolute god-settling location, like say the fine city of Oxford, to the abysmal swamps of Slough. We've gotten quite lucky today, starting with some deers, some olives and some wheat. All of this will grow our mighty city of Spifftopia well. Things get a little bit different when we hop on over to research. The game is split up into ages. In order to progress to the next stage, we must reach its requirements. There are only a handful of technologies per era, and you don't need to research them all. They will give various bonuses, maybe immediate rewards like say spawning you an archer, but of course, yes, we start in the Age of Stone. We have twig huts and we don't even know how to farm yet. But luckily for me, I may have stumbled across a developer tool that lets me bypass all of that research time for free. That's right, by wanting to queue up the research to automatically go into the next one when it was complete, I discovered that if I shift click on a technology, it just instantly researches it instead of plopping it in a schedule. This is a wonderful feature that I'm sure the developers forgot to remove before giving me early access. Now, to be kind to the developers, I have very nicely chosen to restrain myself. That means I won't be getting a turn 1 science victory by unlocking nuclear fusion in the Stone Age. But I will treat myself to an early lead and instantly research my way through the entire era. Oh, fantastic. We've discovered an independent little city. This is Fortaleza. They're effectively an independent little state, and we can do a handful of things with them. We can send an envoy into their lands, and in doing so, they will become a vassal of ours. Or alternatively, we can send in troops and try and brutally conquer them. One of those things definitely sounds more British than the other. Oh my, and the barbarians are attacking me in the woods. Of course they are. How uncivilized. I bet they don't even drink tea. Now, if you want to see how combat actually looks in this game, you have your stack of units, and then you attack another stack of units, and a battle happens. You can actually see these battles. Here are the barbarian units, here are my units. They run into each other and punch until enough rounds of combat have happened or everyone has died. Ooh, and fantastic. We have advanced into the next age. That's right, the Cult of Tea has unlocked the Age of Bronze. Now, all ages are different and they are shared across the planet, although you won't be able to receive the bonuses of the age until you actually research yourself into it, which of course none of the AI have been able to do yet. To check when I'm actually meant to get to this point, I loaded up YouTube and checked to see where other pro gamers were at. Both Millennia, TrueNode and Quorbit hit this age on turn 21, so it's safe to say that we have ourselves a big advantage. But yes, it is only turn 9 and already we've left all of the other players in the dust back in the Stone Age. If only they could see me now and how mighty I've become. Because my next move is going to absolutely destroy the game. We're going to focus discipline as our first technology. This is going to improve all of our military, as you can imagine. But you'll notice something is different. We no longer have one option of the age we can move into. There is the Age of Iron, Age of Heroes, and Age of Blood. Each of them is very different, and we are going to send this world into the Age of Blood, of course, because we are about to become the Raiders! Say hello to the raiders, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I'm making this video to break the game, and with all of my experience in gaming, I can tell you that this is one of the most entertainingly overpowered features I've ever seen. Raiders are cheap units that we can summon with warfare experience. Funnily enough, they also give us the ability to generate warfare experience from combat. So of course, we're going to reinvest that generated warfare experience straight back into summoning more raiders, who yes, will generate even more warfare experience, and so on and so on and so on. Now, if you've ever seen me play a video game before, you probably know what this can mean. Things are about to get very silly. Meanwhile, we are just moving some units, peacefully over to this city-state here, just so we can go for a standard British introduction, say hello, ask how you're doing, and then ask where they keep all of their gold, just so we can keep it safe. And we will now begin the first stage of our master plan, as we are going to use my raiders and my archer to attack the city of Fortaleza here. It is defended by a wall and a bunch of peasants. Unfortunately, raiders are very good at hitting walls, and peasants are not very good at anything really, except getting shot by archers. Well, that was nice and easy. We won. And with it, we get some choices. We can either destroy the entire city and get some population for our capital, or forcefully vassalize them. This is what we're going to go for. Oh, and very entertainingly, because I attacked that innocent city, I have now put us on the path to the Age of Blood. If I kill 4 more units that aren't barbarians, I'll be locking myself into the Age of Blood. We're going to be beelining towards an Age of Chaos. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Now, by defeating them, we also generate warfare experience, which we can use for some very cheesy things like spawning more raiders, which is exactly what we're going to do. Wabam, over here, some more raiders will arrive. And you know what? We'll even have one of them join this army here and attack this barbarian camp. In doing so, we get more warfare experience. And what's this? Even more warfare experience. Lovely. And with the additional experience we generated, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to, that's right, summon more raiders, which can instantly move and attack the city of Corinth, because that's balanced. This is a perfectly balanced, self-fulfilling loop of unstoppable power. It is on par with the Fortify Restoration loop in Skyrim, because the more you engage in it, the more broken it becomes. Oh, fantastic. I'm able to pick up the most overpowered bonus of the raiders, the victors, and we now heal whenever we win combat. But yes, as you can imagine, things are about to get very silly, because this unit here has sustained some damage. I could spend multiple turns waiting for them to heal up, or I could just attack across a river into some barbarians, and in doing so, heal my units. Yep, that seems fine from a balance perspective. What could possibly go wrong? Right, I'll attack this barbarian camp. This is very entertaining, because I can attack this barbarian camp and take damage. However, even though it's not a concrete victory, my units take no damage because we won. And our opponents did take damage, which they can't really heal from. So as you can imagine, it's a very broken mechanic, and one that I promise to abuse to the fullest. Okay, now we can immediately move ourselves into an Age of Blood, which I think is a good idea. It will take us 11 turns to reach it, but by entering it, the world descends into chaos. So things are looking pretty good. We're up to turn 29, and we have quite a few vassals already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 vassals in total. Each vassal is providing me with various advantages, small amounts of knowledge, small amounts of culture, and small amounts of money. But as the game goes on, the yields of that will all increase. Now, we're not many turns into this game, but you might be wondering how my troops have traveled so far across the map. Say hello to Force March. This is a warfare ability that costs basically nothing and refreshes an army's ability to move and fight. This allows your units to have multiple combats on the same turn. That's pretty cheesy, but it does have a drawback. It will deal minor damage to the troops, but we of course heal from fighting, and we can even use this reinforcement ability to heal them even further. So yes, it has absolutely no downsides. This lets me effectively teleport my armies around the map and bypass defensive units. Luckily, I'm not in multiplayer, because this is exactly the kind of ability cheese that would lose friends. Luckily for me, I can just force march this unit here all the way over. There we go, we will attack into this barbarian camp. Naturally, we will win, of course, pick up some engineering experience. We've healed up, we can then force march again, and just keep on moving around the map. And every time we force march, we can attack, which allows us to get very cheesy indeed. Alright, so into the city of Hermopolis we go. Unfortunately, the innocent civilians, they can't stand up to the test of time, so they've been conquered. We will then attack Athens, which likewise, unfortunately, that's an instant conquering. And remember, every time we fight, we generate experience, which we can then use to then force march our men and get them to finish off these barbarians nearby. Lovely jubbly. Well, it's time to talk about crossbows and barbarian archers because they've been carrying me through this game. Oh my goodness, yes! Okay, we just got the most overpowered thing in the game. Crossbows. Now, crossbows are a unit that you can train and unlock in the Iron Age. However, by attacking the barbarians, we managed to find some. Now, a crossbow might not seem like much. I mean, after all, it's just a strength 32 unit. Doesn't seem too spicy. However, it is. If I assist one with a raider, you will notice that I can attack this barbarian, and the crossbow does an ungodly amount of damage. Yep, that's right, it just one shot for 60 damage. On paper, their attack is 16. This is nothing special. It's actually worse than a raider, but this attack is tripled against infantry. Logically, this is 45 damage, which is pretty good, but it's not a one hit. But no, instead of actually taking 15 and timesing it by 3, the developers decided to double the damage and double it again, meaning this tooltip is wrong and they're actually doing 60 damage. This comfortably lets you one-shot 99% of the enemies you'll face in the first 9 ages. Very balanced indeed. Oh, and by the way, the more they one-shot, the more they level up, meaning the more damage they do. It's perfect. Oh, now Russia wants to have open borders with us. Oh, I see how it is. Unfortunately, I don't want open borders with you, so no. What I will be doing is taking over the city of Vijayanagara? Vijayangara. Look, I'm British. Pronunciation is not at the first forefront of my language, but what I can do is use the ungodly power of the crossbow to just evaporate this city. Yep, that's right. We don't even need multiple combats. The entire thing can now just fall. And with it, a new vassal appears. And from that vassal, we can spawn raiders. That's right. Here's another squad of raiders. Still, I'll send these boys out to scout, and these other raiders should head north to deal with this potential friend. And by friend, I mean future vassal. All right, anyway, let's attack this innocent city-state. Oh wow, we literally just got them in one attack. Splendid. Oh, this is just getting better and better. Now you might be wondering, why am I keeping these new cities as vassals rather than taking direct control? Well, whilst vassals might start out giving small amounts of resources and gold, eventually they break the game and become of higher worth than even a standard player-controlled city. My only concern for now is those dastardly coffee drinkers who I've now met. 2 of their scout cavalry have been spotted by our military here, somewhere to the north of our growing empire. This is something we need to deal with. We need to find their homelands and raze them to the ground. We are also one turn away from entering into the Age of Blood, which means war. Most particularly war against everyone on the planet, and you will notice the planet has suddenly gotten a fair bit darker. Yes, the end times are upon us, and I have just destroyed the world. The Age of Blood. We're heading there, and it's great for our economy. Would you like to know more? In this age, every nation is locked into a permanent state of war. This means military units have reduced upkeeps, we earn warfare experience when killing non-barbarian units, and new types of governments are unlocked. The rivers and seas even run red with blood, and barbarians are absolutely everywhere. This is terrible for everyone. Everyone but me. A brand new barbarian camp has spawned for basically every single city on the map, which means for the poor AI, yes, they now have to deal with a near endless quantity of barbs. It's great for me because every barb camp I kill, I'm able to get advantages like, say, some warfare experience, lovely, which I can then use to spawn some more raiders. For me, this is good fun. For them, this is the end of the world. Oh, the poor AI is not going to survive this at all. We have 12 vassals, which is very jazzy indeed. We do want to try and keep them alive, which might be a challenge, but I'm hoping we should have this in the bag. Ah, right, and now we get our first Chaos event. I thought I had enough gold to pay it off, but unfortunately I do not. In this Chaos event, 2 barbarian warlords are going to spawn in each region for all nations. As you can imagine, this is going to destroy most of the known world, as every city has just picked up 2 absolute giant lunatics trying to invade it. Yes, pretty bad indeed. I mean, I know I kind of brought this upon myself, but this is ridiculous. There's just so so many of them. To be honest, this is actually an advantage for me because the barbarians attacking my cities is just generating me combat experience, and all of my cities are somehow able to hold, which is very good indeed. War! What is it good for? Well, it turns out actually quite a lot, as our economy has never looked better. With a near endless supply of warfare XP, we can use a combination of force march and reinforce to sidestep all enemy armies and strike their poorly defended cities, whilst never taking any meaningful damage. Anyway, let's quickly attack this Russian unit. That's a scout of theirs defeated. We'll be into their capital next turn. What I find interesting is we're also technically making money per turn from our units. You'll notice that we lose 19 gold per turn from unit upkeep, but we gain plus 20 gold per turn from unit upkeep reduction, meaning having a standing army is currently making us money. I don't quite know how the maths works out on that, but it just does. Right, anyway, I do believe it's time for us to attack Smolensk, so that's exactly what we'll do. We've got our crossbowmen set up. They do have some archers, which is pretty bad for us. Luckily, crossbowmen always very good, so the city's under siege. We should now be able to finish it off with this stack of men. There we go. Regional capital conquered, 4 population killed, chaos gained, but also a bunch of money. Lovely. Russia has now lost that city. What I can then do is immediately force the troops that won that battle to march again and go fight these people. This is, of course, another glorious victory. Splendid. We have actually completely knocked Russia out of the game by capturing their 2 regions and of course converting them into lovely vassal cities. You know what? I might do the exact same thing here. Yep, we're going to attack the Japanese because why not? It says we're going to take medium damage here, which is a little bit risky because we have to fight various militias as well as generals and spearmen, all very costly. So yes, we take some damage, they take some damage. Luckily for us, I can force march our men, march them out of the zone, then hit them with a reinforcements to heal them up, and then march them straight back in, allowing them to attack once again. And bam, look, we conquered the city. Incredible. Now I will force march my men once more, have them just chase the enemy down. Yep. Oh, wait, no, it's not even a city wall. It's just a single tower. Well, yeah, that was quite easy. Now, it might be clear to those of you watching that I've completely yeeted the game balance out of the window. I'm able to generate far too much warfare XP. I'm able to use this experience to infinitely heal my units and essentially teleport them around the map. And then you know what, I'm just going to forced march and move my troops around behind the German line so that they can't even stop me. I'm just going to take the city of Cologne. Why not? This is incredibly cheesy. Unfortunately, we weren't able to take it in one go, but I can just force march my men back out of the borders, move them to here, reinforce them so they heal up a bit, force march them again so they can move, and then just attack the city once more so that it falls. This is horrifically broken, but that's it. Germany's been eliminated in one turn. I was just able to walk around the side of the German army. Each unit costs so little money to maintain that I'm now being paid to have an army. And with this army, I'm able to collect even more vassals, which is giving me more money, research, and culture. This map is actually huge, by the way. There's so much going on. You're definitely not meant to be able to conquer it as fast as I've been able to. So let's introduce some of our neighbors to the joys of tea and make them into glorious new subjects. And now when we attack them, we do 23 damage a hit. They do 6 damage to us. Considering the base attack of these units is only meant to be 14, I'd say we're doing pretty good indeed. Anyway, that is the end of the British Empire. Now this does seem like an evil thing to do, but remember, we are the cult of tea. It is only natural and right that we bring tea to the people of the United Kingdom. They crave it, they need it, they deserve it. One strange thing I have noticed is the AI will occasionally panic and move their defending units out of a city. They do this because they believe my units cannot reach it. But with the power of the Force March ability, we can teleport behind them and yoink the prize away. Oh my goodness. In what can only be described as the greatest power move of all time, the Chinese AI has seen fit to abandon its city. Oh no. Okay, right. Well, they left it undefended, so that's them now eliminated from the game. Of course, all good things must come to an end, and on turn 66 we leave the Age of Blood and enter the 4th age, the Age of Kings, slowing down my glorious snowbally rampage. From what I can tell, we did this 30 to 50 turns earlier than fellow YouTubers, and if we compare with say many a true nerd, he is in control of 3 cities and 1 vassal. We enter this age with 2 cities and 41 vassals. We've reduced the world to a point where only 2 nations remain. My mighty cult of tea and the coffee drinkers. Okay, now whose borders are these that we've discovered? It's the coffee drinkers. Oh no. And they're actually not looking too poorly developed. That is clearly a clay pit. They've got some kind of marble mine set up as well. Okay, the coffee drinkers aren't looking terrible. I was completely expecting them to be in such an abysmal shape, but no, they appear to be functioning. Ah, the nation of the coffee drinkers. A nation which I felt deserved to feel the full might of tea. So instead of conquering them, I built up my empire until I controlled almost the entire map. I scaled up my vassal cities, gave them prosperity, money, and even built multiple massive armies. Even an army of hot air balloons. Here comes my airship. There is an innocent settler and how are you gonna beat that with your sticks and spears? I've conquered the air. The turn is 1545 AD, and I do believe it's time to end the game. We shall be doing it using high-tech propeller bombers. I just think it's funny. So in come the propeller bombers. Here they come. As you can see, they have their defenses set up, and then bonk, it's gone. 436 damage. Oh, very good. I love it. Into the capital we go. They have a skull tower and a large quantity of what can appear to be French coffee drinkers. Fortunately, they are all dead and the capital is ours. I think I've just gone and done it. Yes, victory for the cult of tea. There are none remaining who can oppose our glorious might. Yes, we have done it. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have proven that Millennia is indeed a perfectly balanced game, which is exactly what I'd want out of a 4X strategy game. There is definitely nothing dubious at all with the gameplay balance, and I personally thank the developers and publishers for sponsoring us today so that we can show them just how much fun can be had with all of those pesky unintended features they included. Anyway, thank you for giving the video a like, and I'll see each and every one of you in the next one. Have a lovely day and goodbye for now.